The GMMTV 2026 lineup was insane, and some of these BL reviews were really interesting and I didn't expect it, so I'm still not over it. Let's talk about it. Hello friends! I'm so excited for this video because it's gonna be all about the GMMTV 2026 lineup, Magic Vibes Maximized. I think that's what it's called. I'm so excited. Let's talk about it. Let's unpack it. Let's do it. So if you don't know what GMMTV 2026 is, then this part is for you. If you know, then you can skip this part and click on like a different timestamp. Let's go. Okay, so this is basically of the production company GMMTV, which makes a lot of Thai BLs and which is one of the biggest companies, is literally just saying these are the shows that we want to make and these are the pilots that we filmed to show you what shows we want to make. And it's getting bigger every year because this year it was a 5-hour live stream with 36 series, I think 8 GLs, a musical, and like at least also again 20 or so BLs, and it was so crazy. And yeah, so I'm like, it was a lot, but I loved it. But yeah, if you didn't watch it live, then also this video is definitely also for you. Okay, first things first. This video obviously is not going to be all 36 series and stuff like that. This is going to be just the highlights, my favorite things that I'm really looking forward to or that I thought were like really amazing plots. Because like I said, there's 36 like shows and a music and all that they showed, and the live stream was 5 hours. I don't want this video to be 5 hours. So that's why I had to shorten it. But yeah, let's get into it. Okay, let's first start with a thing that happened before they showed any TV series or movies or musicals. It was when the two presenters and the CEO of GMMTV were on stage and talking about some of the other things that GMMTV does. What is it called now? Project Alpha, which is the casting show that they made from which Lycan came. Lycan is one of their Thai pop groups. They're gonna go on a world tour and they're coming to Germany. I'm so excited. So if you're like a fan from Europe, tell me in the comments below if you also want to go next year and in which city you would want to go to. And yeah, let's talk about that as well already. Exciting. And so they talk about that, and all of a sudden you can hear someone clapping and everyone's like, okay, where's this clapping coming from? And all of a sudden Pond, dressed and acting as Khun Thee from Me and T, comes in. And there's basically this whole exchange between him and the CEO and him and the presenters, moderators, hosts, MCs. And it's like hilarious because if you have watched Me and T, he channels this energy so well, and it was really crazy but really amazing. So I will definitely insert some clips here because it was hilarious, and we can maybe even watch a little bit something as well now. But yeah, like I loved it. And then okay, let's watch it.
น่าประทับใจมาก คุณสถาพร
เดี๋ยวก่อน
สนใจซื้อทั้งบริษัทเลยนะครับ
คุณทีเดี๋ยวก่อนคุณที
Okay, so what I love also is that Pond obviously is Khun Thee, and he's like this super rich guy who tries to buy everything. He buys everything, and there's even in the official trailer and pilot trailer that both were this like reference to GMMTV and to him calling the CEO and like buying the company and stuff. So they talk about that, and it's hilarious. But he says, oh, but we're under a bigger group, so you need to buy that group. And he's like, I'm gonna get my secretary Mark to like draw up some papers. And then Pond is not alone on stage. Phuwin, as his character Peach, comes in with the clothes, with the camera, and it's like, you cannot do this right now, we need to go. And then they go, and it's like hilarious, and I loved it. It was the best skit, and I loved that they did that. William S. and their new show, You Maniac. I was blown away because firstly, if you know, when we saw that trailer, everyone was like, okay, they look good, we love it, but what is this gonna be? And within the first 10 seconds, they're already making out, which was so crazy because if you know, then like they were very different in tempo, which I love that. There was such a variety now. because that means they're also really good actors, but also I was not expecting that, I have to say, but I love it. And it comes out, both of them are kind of red flaggy, and they're both kind of like emotionally distant and like cold, but in different ways. And I love that. And the trailer in itself was so cool. The trailer already has 1 million views. I think it's the fastest one from all of the pilot trailers to reach 1 million views. So I'm really happy for William and Est. And that's so cool because, like I said, I loved S already in so many shows, and I really think that he deserves it 100%. Of course, also William, and they're just so cute together, and I love them. And they I like to see them in a little bit of a mature, like different vibe, a bit toxic, because red flaggy. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be fake boyfriends, fake dating. Like I said, one of them is a bit more emotional distant in a sense. I think it's S character who blocks everyone, and then there's William's character, who's also emotionally distant, but he does accept everyone's request for like Instagram or like ID, and I love that as well. And Barcode is in this. He plays their friend, and it's hilarious. And it's gonna be great, and I love Barcode as well. He's gonna be so fun because I loved him also in Revamp. So I'm also excited for his show. Yes, amazing. Now, Moon Shadow is a GL with Bonnie and Emmie. I love both of them, really. And I think it's gonna be really interesting and really fun. And it's gonna be like really cool that they make so many GL movies. Last year, I think there were 3 GLs. This year, there were like 8 or 9, I think. And so I think it's really cool that they're also already going into that, because we do need some better GLs, because there are some GLs which I just couldn't watch because it was just not the vibe, like either the chemistry between the actors or the storyline. And so that's why I think I've only seen mostly them in BLs where they were the side couple, like for example in Bad Buddy or in A Secret Crush on You, but also like I've seen, I think, Gap and another one which I forgot the name about. And so that's why I think it's really cool that we have so many different ones from so many different genres, but we also have this one, and I'm excited about that as well. So I just wanted to throw that in here because mostly talk about the BLs, but we're getting GLs now, and I'm excited about it. Okay, now PerthSanta. Okay, if you know, you know. But I'm excited because it's gonna be interesting, because now we're like in, it's called the Spooky Love Tale. That's what their show is gonna be called. And so I'm very excited because to see them in this one. I don't really know a lot about the plot besides from what I saw in the pilot trailer, but I heard it is based on a Korean webtoon, and that there's gonna be some plot twists that we couldn't really yet like properly catch from the pilot trailer. That is more from than the actual show, I think. But people have said that on like Twitter, TikTok, and elsewhere, that there's gonna be some plot twists, especially related to Perth's character, but I've not looked at those spoilers because I'm not sure yet if I want to know, because I have to say, like, I love Boss Noel, but then when I saw the spoilers for The Boy Next World, at first I was like, I don't know if I want to watch it, because now I kind of know like the plot twist and stuff. I still watched it, but then, you know, at first I wasn't sure. So that's why with PerthSanta, I think I'm also going to wait a little bit if I don't get spoiled by accident, basically. Yeah, this is gonna be so cool. I'm so excited. Obviously, before that, we still have the storyline in Me and T and Love Your Teacher. But I love that they're getting this variety of series, which are not just university series, which both of them already have played several times. So I'm very excited about that. And in general, I just love to see them. They were, again, great chemistry. It was just amazing. And I'm excited for them to be in this like spooky horror kind of thing as well, because that's a totally different genre, I think, as well for both of them. Because like I said, I think until now they're kind of mostly the high school, university rom-com kind of shows. And now with Me and T and Love Your Teacher, they're really like branching out. And of course, Perth on his own and Santa on his own were also in other shows which weren't like that, but still. And so I'm so excited for this show to come as well, because like I said, I want to just like see how they're gonna do it, because there's gonna be so many interesting parts of the story. And it's like they meet and they both see ghosts, and when they're together the ghosts disappear and stuff like that. And so I'm like, okay, like what is this, like why are the ghosts there? Do they disappear when they're together? I want to know all about that. I'm so excited. Yes. Okay, now the 17th Spring is a show with Shokun and Aston, I think. Yes, I think that's what they call it. I'm trying my best with the names. I really am. And this one is gonna be very interesting because it's about a boy who comes to a new school and he doesn't really have any friends, and the reason why is because he is HIV positive. I assume either to the medical malfeasance or through because of birth, basically like his parents or his mother is also HIV positive. Because that can happen. But I'm very excited about that because I feel like when you tell queer storylines, yes, you need to focus on the queer joy and on the future and on showing what can be possible, but you do need to show also some struggles which are related or like correlated even to the queer community. And the struggle with HIV and AIDS, of course, for a really long time was like a death sentence, and it was like this massive social stigma, and it's gotten definitely better, I have to say. But I feel like there's still a lot of people who have like who have like these weird judgments and like prejudice basically against people who have HIV. Even if you did contract them when you were an adult, that's still like not like this bad thing. Like you can still live pretty normal, you can take the medication, like he probably does in the show as well. Like he takes medication, and especially now in 2025 there's so many medications which you can take which basically makes that the viral count is so low that you can't be transmitted. And so also I've heard about like this research like efforts that because of COVID they were like, oh, like the spike protein in COVID, like that, how they targeted that one, we could use that also for for HIV, right, for that virus. And also for basically most people who have HIV or who are HIV positive, AIDS doesn't really break out because the medication is so advanced. And I'm so happy for that, for those people, because again, in the queer community, when it came out, basically that a lot of people in the queer community, especially gay men, had HIV, but in many countries, also in Germany, but also in the US, in Thailand, or in the UK or wherever, like the governments weren't really responsive. Like it took them way too long. It really took them years. So many people died, and in really quite horrible ways. Firstly, secondly, mostly alone, which is why also the L in LGBT is at the front, because the lesbians, the women, and the queer community really were the ones who would look after the gay men when their parents, their families would either desert them or their partners had already died and they also had contracted HIV. And it's just like a very important topic. And I've watched also so many movies when I was growing up where this was like a very prevalent topic, because I was born in the mid-1990s. So by the time that I was watching television and there were some movies and TV shows with like queer people, it was often still like a really prevalent subject that they were like, yeah, like literally, this is like still like really in the forefront. Now, thank God, really, thank science, it's not that bad especially when you have access to modern medicine. But yeah, so that's why I think this is gonna be such an amazing like series, and I hope that they treat it with the respect that it deserves. The way they did it also with Moonlight Chicken, I think, where it's about, for example, one of the characters being deaf, or like, and having to like kind of navigate that, or like in other shows as well, also in Last Twilight a little bit, even though in the end he could regain his eyesight, but technically, and so that's why I think this is going to be a very interesting series. And I love that it's going to be firstly about their friendship and like overcome this kind of stigma a little bit, but also about this, that children have this innocence, that it is mostly the parents or the environment that teaches them all these prejudices. So yeah. The new offGun series Gunshot definitely some trigger warnings for those, because it's going to be about sexual violence and about revenge. So it's going to be probably be a little bit bloody, and definitely there's going to be some scenes or allusion or like alluding to scenes in which sexual violence happens to at least one of the characters, and then the other character taking revenge on these people. And I watched it and I was like, okay, this is going to be very interesting, because I have to say I enjoy those movies as well on a different level, not because I enjoy that, especially to women, but also to other people. Like sexual violence is perpetrated mostly by men, but in general from men to other people, basically. And which is also what happens in the pilot trailer, right? And which it's all about power and about humiliation also. And so I'm like, I also did like the movie Promising Young Woman, because it is a sad ending, I have to say, spoiler if you have not watched it. It is a sad ending, I think, personally, but it is a realistic ending, you know. But of course you could also do it like in I think The Final Girl, which is like this kind of horror movie, which is about that this girl like survives and she then starts hunting the people who hunt her or something, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, so I think this is gonna be very interesting, because obviously Off is gonna be a police officer and Gun is gonna be like the person who's like, I need to take revenge. And I think it's gonna be very interesting, because not everything that is morally right is always like justified by the justice system, but not everything that the justice system does is morally right, but you know, it is the justice system, you know. So it is the law, and that's gonna be very interesting, and I hope they do it so well, because I loved offGun. Obviously not me, one of my favorite series of all time. It's literally not even Thai BL or BL or Asian series. It's in the top 10 of my favorite series of all time. Is not me. If you don't know that about me, I will link my podcast episode down below, and you can also check out my YouTube video, which I did about that Not Me pride flag scene, so you can know all about my obsession with that show. And what I think also, the political meanings and all of that, and that's why I'm excited for this show, because I think they're gonna excel at this again. So yeah. My Professional Boyfriend is the title of the new Winnie Satang series, which is gonna be so good, because it's like completely leaving the university kind of plot behind completely, even though that summer wasn't really about university, but still. And it's gonna be fake dating. Winnie's gonna play a Thai Chinese mafia heir, and then Satang is gonna play someone who gets mistaken as a sex worker. I think that's what I got from the pilot. And they're gonna fake date because Winnie's parents want him to get married. And yeah, I'm very interested in the plot. It's gonna be so interesting to see how it develops, how it is then when the final trailer comes out. I'm so excited because I love Winnie Satang. I've loved them since Fish Upon the Sky. I think they were also in that show. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I think that was their first show. And then of course Star in My Mind and what's it called? We Are, and My School President, and of course that summer, which was their first main couple lead show without an ensemble. That was so amazing, and so I'm so excited for this. I cannot wait, because I think it's gonna be intriguing, it's gonna be angsty, it's gonna be, you know, maybe a little bit action, because it is technically mafia, and so I'm excited about that, and I think they're just gonna do great. They have amazing chemistry. It's definitely taking it even a notch more up than that summer, because it literally went from only kissing in My School President, because no one wants to see high schoolers do that, especially as an adult. And then we had We Are, and then we had the summer, and now we have My Professional Boyfriend, and it's gonna be the best. I also love that like 3 of the BLs that got introduced are employee/intern with the CEO/boss. And so we have a June Dunk, Ao Boom, and Bun Prem. And they are all 3 have very different vibes, I think. Because Bun Prem is definitely more of the revenge. Then in June Dunk, it's more of the boss is in love. So Jung is in love with Dunk vibe, but Dunk is like, I don't know. And then we of course got Ao Boom, in which I think it's gonna be like a mutual thing, but it still has to develop, and they have in the beginning this miscommunication where Boom thinks that Ao is not the boss of his new company or like something, but he's a taxi driver, I think. And so I think that's also going to be pretty fun because those are like also always really fun like tropes in like mangas or in fan fiction. So I think that's going to be very interesting and it's going to be fun a lot. I think also especially Jungdang is going to do really well. Like all the others are going to do really well as well. But we know Jung is chronically online and loves reading fan fiction and making up his own fan fiction. And this is one of the classic tropes. So I think he's going to do really well with that. Okay, thank you friends for watching my video and I hope you enjoyed it. Tell me all about it in the comments below. What are your favorite ships? What are you looking forward to the most? And what trope or show did surprise you the most? So I'm excited to hear all about it. Also, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. It really helps me out and I'm excited to see you in the next video. Bye!